Happy birthday, Canada! I'm Stacey Ross, a very proud and somewhat goofy Canadian. Tonight on Island 30, we'll introduce you to one of the most patriotic people on Vancouver Island, and we'll tell you about 5 individuals who were not born in this country, but who chose to make Canada their home. That's next. The lawns of the legislature hosting one of many big Canada Day celebrations today. But you know what? Nowhere does it quite like Parksville. Fun, games, music, go-karts, kite flying, and fireworks tonight. And our unsung Islander this week is the gal that makes it happen year after year. Happy Canada Day, Joan Lemoyne.
Good morning. Happy Canada Day.
This is how they celebrate Canada's birthday oceanside. Every July 1st, Parksville hosts an all-day party, starting with a parade and continuing through the afternoon until dusk arrives and the skies light up. Joan Lemoyne remembers her first Oceanside Canada Day 17 years ago.
We came in June of '95, and the first event we took in was Canada Day.
After living across Canada, Joan and her husband Jim retired to the picturesque community of Parksville. As they took in the amazing celebration, they knew they'd never move again.
And it was just awesome. There were lots of people around, and people were friendly and said hello and smiled. And my husband said, I think this is what we want to do next year, get involved.
Oh, Canada.
And they did, year after year.
Her and her late husband, Jim Lemoyne, were known as the godparents of the current Beach Fest.
She lost Joe a few years ago, but the Parksville Chamber of Commerce wanted to honor forever these 2 dedicated volunteers.
We were having a little dedication for a little toast to Joe, and then they presented me with this bench. So it's quite an honor to have your own bench.
Joan was stunned and very touched.
I knew nothing about it. I had missed 2 meetings the whole year, and that's when they planned this.
Joan Lemoyne is the epitome of volunteerism here in Oceanside. Whatever you ask of her, she's there. She'll help you at every turn. She never asked for recognition or asked for anything other than to give of her time to the Oceanside community.
Did you want to pick it up?
Oh, I picked them both up.
Did you?
There were 3, and I picked 2 in one hand.
Whoa.
Joan's warmth comes across to everyone. She's volunteered her whole life, even while raising 6 kids.
Well, my little boy at school, I think it was first day at school, and they wanted cookies. He said, my mom will do it. So his mom's been doing it ever since. Got her?
Yep.
And whether it's Canada Day or Parksville's Beach Festival and Sandcastle Extravaganza, Joan will be right there in the thick of things.
Because it makes you feel good when you give to others. It just does.
Seniors today sometimes tend to wind down. Joan, on the other hand, winds up.
Oh, how good is that?
In fact, she's wound up right into the fall.
I have just been asked to be a hostess for the Kris Kringle Craft Show, so I know what I'll be doing in November.
Happy Canada Day, Joan, and thanks for giving so much of your time to others.
That was the one thing he asked of me before he passed away, that I keep doing the work that we had done together. Yeah, it was important to him.
Sounds like a great party, and celebrating 144 years, why not? There's much more still to come on Island 30 tonight, including 5 people who have chosen Canada as their home. That's coming up. Being Canadian, it means a little something different to each one of us. If you're like me, you can't imagine living anywhere else or being anything else. But what if you weren't born in this great country? In this next segment, we introduce you to 5 people who have chosen, for various reasons, to make Canada their home.
So I had a big family. For their safety and security, I had no choice.
Mohsin Abbas is a journalist. In his home country of Pakistan, it's a dangerous line of work.
If a journalist doing something wrong or exposing corruption are violences, are human rights violations, they will not come to you to hurt you. They will say, you know what, we know where your children live, we know how many sister, brother you are. So my family kind of begged me to leave.
Mohsin's family had good reason to be frightened.
One of my colleagues who was reporting with me, he was murdered. And they went to his home 4 a.m. and shot him right in front of his wife, who was pregnant at that time. I was in a very strange situation that what we should do. Should we shut up or we just say silence? So I said no. I decided to come to Canada. I had a strong gut feeling that I will be able to contribute to the community back home, to the place I was born in Kashmir in Pakistan.
That was 9 years ago. Now Mohsin works for the BBC. He contributes to a number of national and international publications, and he's the editor of a bi-weekly newspaper called The Diversity Reporter.
The goal of this newspaper is to connect newcomers to the mainstream Canadian community. That's the whole idea behind it. That's my full-time baby these days. My other baby's in daycare.
Mohsin took his baby, his then 3-year-old daughter, back to Pakistan 2 years ago to shoot a documentary.
Journalists committed to covering the region work in extremely dangerous conditions.
Life on the Line, The Price of Truth in Pakistan, is set to be released later this year.
So that film is based on all the friends I had. I went back, I had nothing. Most of them were gone, killed by either militants or suicide bombers or by local securities or local police.
And the violence continues. Pakistani reporter Syed Shahzad was murdered June 1st.
I always joke we have freedom of speech, but not after the speech. For my reporting, I was threatened, and that was the reason, and I was detained and tortured as well. So that was the reason I had to escape and come to Canada and start my new journey from Canada, and I'm thankful.
Next, we introduce you to 2 young women, one from Russia, one from Kazakhstan. Neither of them really wanted to leave their family and friends behind. It was the men in their lives who made the decision to come to Canada. But these 2 young women have embraced their new homes, and we're lucky to have them. Veronica Smelov sings about the river in her hometown in Russia, a town she left 4 years ago when she and her husband immigrated to Victoria.
It's city same size like Victoria. It's capital city too, not very far from Moscow. I worked for National Museum of Fine Art, and I used to be a DJ on the local FM radio station. Oh, nice. Yes, and I lost all of it.
Veronica's husband was educated and lived for a time in the U.S.
He one day suggested me that we should immigrate to Canada and try this lifestyle. He thinks that Canadian systems, he is a professional librarian, works better than Russian systems. And he likes this style. It's a reason. It was professional reason.
He had a grasp of the language, a job, colleagues, but Veronica did not.
Immigration is kind of experience which very difficult to explain. It's like deliver the baby. How to explain? You can give all details, but it wouldn't be clear for people who didn't do that.
In spite of the sadness she felt leaving her close family and friends, she sees this experience as a challenge, and she's risen to it. She has a child, a son, Andre. She volunteers, and of course, she sings in 2 choirs.
It was a very good way for me socialize, go out, because it's very easy to stay at home one day, week, months, and communicate just with people who speak same language.
Andre's arrival has also helped Veronica adjust to her new life.
My son, when he was born in Canada, he helped me too, because I started to go outside in places with another moms and communicate and be involved in this children's world. It was so great.
It was so great, she even suggested motherhood to a struggling immigrant friend.
I recommend her. Okay, have a baby. It makes your life very interesting. You wouldn't have time to worry a lot, because when you immigrated, you are rethinking about a lot of things which you have and leave behind. try to be positive and find what I really can appreciate in Canada, because life is go on. Go on, is correct?
That's right. Kamila Popushkova is working hard on her English. It's not been easy for the 19-year-old from Kazakhstan. Her father, a computer programmer, decided to move his family to Canada 2 years ago.
I hated that we're going to move here. There was arguing with my friends. I said, I will move to Canada and we'll never see you again. I miss my friends, I miss my grandmother.
But kids are resilient, and Kamila now celebrates the differences she finds here.
People don't like each other in my country, not like here. Like you walk on the street and somebody, if you sees in the eyes, he's smiling to you. But in my country, no. The face down, and here it's different. Like they're smiling and maybe sometimes says hello, and it's nice. I like.
In spite of her relatively recent arrival in this country, Kamila is a typical 19-year-old. She's thinking about school.
Get my grades here from the high school, then go to college. Well, I'm still thinking about the college, what kind of profession. And first, my interest was to be a biologist, to see the whales here, because it's the best place to see them, right near on the edge of the ocean. And
have you been whale watching?
Not yet.
Not yet?
I know it costs too much, but I'm trying to encourage my dad to pay for that.
And of course, there's boys.
I have a boyfriend 1 year ago, and we met at the end of the high school term, and we fell in love, and then it was hardest the way that we broke up after. My best girlfriend said, like, forget about him and try to find another. Well, I'm trying to, but I can't. It's so hard.
It has been hard, but at this point, there is nowhere else Kamila would rather be.
I think no. No, I will never go back there.
So you think you'll stay in Canada then?
Yeah, I will stay in Canada, definitely. I will spread my roots here.
These next two new Canadians are both from Shanghai. They both left successful careers behind them. Why did they do it? For their kids and for a lifestyle that we lifelong Canadians might just take for granted. Bin Chen opened his new store, Natural Garden Remedies, 2 weeks ago. Not so unusual, stores open in Victoria all the time. What is extraordinary is that Bin has only been in this country for 10 months.
I need to change my life. I need it.
Bin has a master's degree in psychology and trained in Chinese medicine in his home of Shanghai, where he left behind a chain of 12 successful stores.
You know, I got the very good job in China, so every day is busy, so stress for me. So I think I need to really relax and enjoy my life. Yeah. So that's why I chose Victoria, you know, to balance your body and mind.
10 years ago, Bin set a target. When he was 45, he would move to Canada, and he told his son to be ready.
One day I will move to the Canada, so you should prepare everything. So I think he knows that. So now he came here at the very beginning, the language was a problem. Also me, my English is not very well, you know. So now I think things is better than better.
Bin says his son is adjusting well and enjoying a childhood he never had.
I think in the morning, 6 o'clock, should go to school, and then 6 p.m. go back home, and then do the homework till the 11 o'clock. So he is only, 10 years old. So I don't think the life is, children is children. So he need to enjoy this children's childhood. I lost childhood already, so I don't want my kids to replay my life.
Is there anything you miss about Shanghai?
My mother. Yeah, of course my mother, yeah. So I call her every night.
The transition hasn't been easy, but Bin says he relishes the challenge. And as a man who values and appreciates the beauty of life, there really was no choice.
One day she asked me, I'm a Chinese or Canadian.
I need to go to climb it correctly, okay?
Wei Li and her then 2-year-old daughter Rachel arrived in Canada in 2009.
It's kind of exciting and also nervous. Yeah, I don't know what will happen and what will happen for Rachel. So kind of nervous about our future. Be careful.
Wei and her husband, both engineers, left successful careers behind in China.
I worked at Shanghai for 12 years, so I want to change a little bit.
There's been more than a little bit of change for Wei and her family. She spoke no English and had no job.
How to communicate with the other people. So at that time, I called my mother every day. Yeah, they tear.
You must miss her still.
Yeah.
So why did she do it? Why did Wei leave her home and her family? Choice. Wei and her husband made their difficult choice so their daughter could make choices of her own.
From the three years in China, the children will go to the preschool. But at the preschool, they will have the homework.
China's one-child-only policy means there's enormous pressure on kids like Rachel. Pressure to excel in academics and music, and then in careers which they don't choose.
When I graduate from the high school, I want to choose my career. I want to choose what I want to study, but I haven't. The family, have more opinion on us.
One more time, Mom.
We'll go home.
Rachel's Chinese name, Herling, means a bird who will fly high as she grows. Her parents feel by being here, she'll be allowed to soar however far and in whichever direction she likes. 5 great stories. Thanks very much to the Intercultural Association of Victoria for helping us to tell them. Much more ahead on Island 30 tonight, this Canada Day edition, including Gordy Tepper.
You know you're Canadian when...
You say A?
You got the best medical in the world.
Oh, yeah.
So what does Canada mean to you? Does it mean a democratic government? Does it mean bannock and smoked salmon? Does it mean lobster or perhaps maple syrup and beavers? Our own Gordy Tepper is on the streets to find out what it is that makes us Canadian. Gord?
So finish this sentence for me. You know you're Canadian when...
You know where the closest Tim Hortons is.
That's a good one. You know you're Canadian when...
You say A?
A?
Say A.
Do you say A lot?
Not really. When you cheer for Vancouver, even though you know Boston's going to win.
Ouch!
When you drink Canadian beer.
You have lots of spirit, a good positive attitude, you know how to have fun.
You got the best hair I've ever seen in Canada, I have to tell you that.
Thank you.
You are having a spectacular hair day. And you know what the best part about being Canadian is? Being free. And you get to wear pants like that out in public, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know you're Canadian when
you like poutine.
What, do you like poutine?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't look big enough to like poutine.
I like it.
We just had poutine.
Yeah.
Get out!
Yeah.
I thought I could smell poutine on your breath. You like poutine?
Never tried it.
Don't. You don't look Canadian, you look American.
No, that mainly happens when you go to Europe and people think you're American, and then you say you're Canadian and they go, oh, sorry. We love Canadians.
So you travel a lot with that good hair, do you?
Yes.
You gonna go to the fireworks?
Possibly, yeah. Really, I'm not really sure yet.
If you were a real Canadian, you'd go to the fireworks.
I mean, yeah, we're going to the fireworks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what Americans wonder about Canadians? They think
know.
that we're such nice, decent, quiet, gentle people, but how come we turn into raving lunatics when you put a hockey stick in our hand?
Oh my goodness, well there's Canada's nationality comes out right there, I guess.
Now, how do you say that last letter of the alphabet?
Z?
Z? Oh, wait a minute, are you a Canadian?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Well, how do you say it?
Red?
So the difference between Canadians and Americans would be they're going to Starbucks and we're going to Timmy's?
That could be a big one, yeah.
Yeah?
And we say sorry and thank you.
Why do we say sorry so often anyhow?
We're just that
We're
polite.
polite, yeah.
Are we like a sorry society or something?
I wouldn't say that.
No, not at all.
I think just we're nicer.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, and thank you for watching as we celebrate Canada's 144th birthday. Tonight, we're also celebrating the wrap of another season of Island 30. During the summer months, we will be bringing back some of our favorite shows, encore presentations. We hope that you will enjoy them the second time around. This also brings to an end my tenure as host and producer of this great show. Thank you so much to all the people who helped put this show on the air every day. It's been my enormous pleasure. I'm awed by the great people and amazing stories we've been able to tell over the past few months, and awed by the great team that brings you this show every single night. I'm Stacey Ross. Happy Canada Day. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great summer. We'll see you soon. We'd love to hear from you. Send us your story ideas by calling 250-480-3767 or drop us an email at island30@checknews.ca.